It is another day and another news cycle. More there. It's another day and time for more from the news. I may actually go about trying to find more news to see if there's any other news out there that was not covered in the videos because it is a very WWE heavy day. So I may try and find a bit more news to comb through. That isn't related to WWE, but we'll see what happens as a lot of it is related to WrestleMania. And specifically the Hall of Fame, which we're going to talk about right now, as Andy Kaufman is the next inductee into the Hall of Fame. Announced yesterday that Andy Kaufman will be going into the Hall of Fame and joining Great Muta and Rey Mysterio in what is Triple H's first class of the WWE Hall of Fame. And in my opinion, if this is what to expect every year from Hunter, when it comes to the Hall of Fame, I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to it. Because, frankly, it's a very deserving class. And in my opinion, next to Cyndi Lauper, and I think I've heard this from somebody else, that next to Cyndi Lauper, there is nobody more deserving to be inducted in the celebrity wing for the Hall of Fame than Andy Kaufman. But the one thing I would like to point out, and the one reason why I basically decided to include this again today, is because right now WWE only has 3 people going into the Hall of Fame this year, and there is absolutely no way that they would just have 3 people going into the Hall of Fame. But with a week left before WrestleMania, they need to rush out the last inductees. And you'd figure that the day of, meaning that the go home episode of SmackDown, that you could figure out that you could figure the day of that they would have the Warrior Award inductee announced. But as far as main members of the class, or as far as other members of the class, they would need them announced beforehand. So if a referee is included in this year's class, if the Legacy inductees are included this year still, if, maybe Stacy Keibler or, I really wouldn't know who else would be inducted, but if other people will be inducted, then the fact of the matter is WWE needs to move a little bit faster to induct them because they may have waited a little bit too long to announce the inductees. They may have waited a little bit too long to announce the inductees if that is the case. But that's just my opinion. But I, for one, just also wanted to talk about it again because of how happy I am that Andy Kaufman is taking his rightful place among the legends in the WWE Hall of Fame. Speaking of WrestleMania, though, there are problems at this point right now with the possibility of Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley taking place at WrestleMania, because fact of the matter is, the problem is that right now, Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley, there is no guarantee that it's on and no guarantee that it's off. So as you can see at this point, what the problem is. Because the problem is, there is no guarantee that it's on and there is no guarantee that it's off. Because a couple weeks ago, or earlier this week, I believe it was earlier this week, honestly, a recent MSG live event, I don't know why it was so hard for me to remember what the name of the live event was. At a recent MSG live event, Bray Wyatt, I think it was actually last week now that I think about it. Bray Wyatt was supposed to be there, but canceled. His appearance was canceled at the very last minute, and a lot of people wondered where the hell Bray Wyatt was, what the hell is going on, why was Bray not at the event, and how they phrased why Bray wasn't there, how they phrased the idea of Bray not being there, it just seemed like WWE was hiding something. So, for lack of a better word, by that I mean that there was more than what there was more to what was being reported. And fact of the matter is, it is pretty obvious at this point that it's pretty obvious at this point that whatever's going on, we're not supposed to know. It's pretty obvious at this point that whatever's going on, we're not supposed to know. There were reports of creative differences. There was reports of a physical issue. There was reports of an illness. Everything is being reported, and every possible thing is being reported. And I would say that at least one or two of those things is probably true, or are probably true. Like the truth is probably buried somewhere in there, I would guess. But the fact of the matter is, the one thing we're worried about is Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley now having a match at WrestleMania. And I would say we're worried about it because we want to see Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. But right now, it doesn't seem like we're going to see Bray Wyatt or Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Unless, I could say that it is possible that we could see the reformation of the Hurt Business at WrestleMania during Brock Lesnar versus Omos, with the Hurt Business helping Omos. I don't see Brock Lesnar losing to Omos at WrestleMania. God, I hope he doesn't lose to Omos at WrestleMania. But I could see the Hurt Business helping him win at WrestleMania. Helping him after the match, or helping him during the match and causing a disqualification, or whatever the case may be. But that's the best I can see for Bobby Lashley right now at WrestleMania, if him and Bray Wyatt is indeed off, or him versus Bray Wyatt is indeed off. I don't really know. I wish there was more to it than that, but honestly, it doesn't seem like there is. And it's a shame, because I think built up right, Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt would have been a good match. But given the time that it had from Elimination Chamber to now, I don't know that it was built up right, because I honestly don't know that WWE knows how to build up I honestly don't know that WWE knows how to build up a Bray Wyatt feud. It's that simple, to be honest with you. It's that simple, to be honest with you. I don't know that WWE knows how to build up a Bray Wyatt feud. And because of that, I would say that WWE needs to sit there and wonder how to, maybe either have Bray or Rob Fee book a feud week to week to week, iron out the details, figure everything out, and focus on the right way to do it, and stick with that program. Because the fact of the matter is, it doesn't seem like they know anything to do, and teasing and teasing and teasing and teasing and teasing, you need a payoff eventually, and it just so happens that WWE, honestly, underwhelms, I guess is the best way to put it. It's that I don't know that WWE knows what to do with Bray Wyatt, or there is maybe some error in communication. That's the best way I can do it. And an update on Ray versus Dominic, I would say that Ray versus Dominic is a match that I kind of agree with the guys at Cultaholic, where they said that Ray versus Dominic should be the last match announced for WrestleMania. It should be the last match announced for WrestleMania. And I thought, for one, that getting his other family members physically involved in the rivalry would be the way to get Ray to agree. But I don't know that Dom will get his parent, his mother or Aaliyah involved in the feud in that way to try and intimidate his father into the match. But I do think that this match should be the last match announced for WrestleMania. But speaking of WrestleMania, we have other things to talk about when it comes to WrestleMania, and more news to get to all together, and that will be in the next video, as we also have some news from the breakdown of Monday Night Raw, or from Monday Night Raw. So let's get to that and move on to the next video. I will see you then.